Testing.
Over there. Hello and welcome to a live video. We're live from Engage Prague here in the beautiful city of Prague in the Czech Republic. And basically we want to come and talk about sort of user-generated content. So please introduce yourself to the guys on Facebook.
Hi Facebook. My name is Mordecai Holtz. I'm the co-founder and chief digital strategist of Booster Marketing, an agency that's based in Israel, but we work with companies around 8 countries already. And our goal is to work with every client in their digital needs. So it could be content writing, it could be running campaigns, PPC, SEO campaigns, it could be content strategies. We've done basically anything under the sun. And in many ways, we like to view ourselves as the chief digital officer of our clients. So we help them get everything they need that should solve all their digital needs under one roof. But in this context, what you're asking me about user-generated content, tomorrow I'll be presenting about a case study that I've been working with the City of Jerusalem's tourism division about how we leverage user-generated content and how we turn our visitors to the city as our best ambassadors and their content creators, and we, the city, become the platform for them to amplify their content.
Yeah, I think that's an amazing thing. That's why I wanted to get you on, because obviously Jerusalem has got so many sort of connotations, it's got so much history, it's got so much depth, it's got so much going on around it, and actually as a city and a place to go, it's something that people always want to go to, but actually there are still ways in which you can make that better, you can make it the connection deeper, so actually not just people come back and go for a single pilgrimage, they actually come back time and time again. There's always something new to discover, and I'm a huge advocate in that people and your customers are your greatest advocates. So in terms of user-generated content, then, how are you encouraging people to create more content? Well, not just more content, but better content that you could use. Because obviously, some people are just creating content, you just can't use it. So how would you actually encourage people to create the right content for your needs?
That's a great question. The way we do it is, the first thing we did is we mapped out who the key audience that we want to reach is. The reason why we did that is, like you said, everyone can create content. Everyone's using their phone or your cameras or whatever it is to create content and digital content, meaning they're sharing it. So the first thing we have to do is identify who the people are that we want to reach. Because once you've identified the right people, then the rest of the people are important, but they're second priority in terms of who we're trying to get that quality content from. The next thing we did is we worked with the entire spectrum of people of industry within the tourism division.
Yeah.
So it could be your tour guides, it could be your hotels, restaurants, your tour operators. We work with everyone to explain to them, this is our strategy. Because as a city, you're not looking to promote one specific business, you're promoting the entire city.
So against where a normal business would have to just get buy-in from the top down, you haven't just got to get buy-in from the top down, you've got to get buy-in from absolutely everyone around you, because if everyone's not buying into that, then actually you're sort of creating a rod for your own back.
Correct. So it's never easy, and it's not going to be everyone. There'll never be everyone, but we definitely work our best to get as many people within that we'll call it continuum to be part of the process. The next thing we do is we create very clear parameters of what we consider quality content. So of course there's going to be content that people take pictures and selfies, whatever it is, and that content could be used or not used. Then there's also written content, video content, and we review each one. You have to review every one, and you have to identify where you want it, what the narratives are, so we create some narratives that we want.
Yeah.
Is it the food scene? Like you said, there's our history. Jerusalem's filled with history. But every person who's going to come to Jerusalem is going to experience that history.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what the story that they're going to go through to experience it. So it could be the food, it could be the culture, it could be their interest in sports, it could be their interest in graffiti. There's a lot of great graffiti going on in Jerusalem. It could be their religious experiences. It could be museums. And there's so many different aspects. And by creating certain themes and certain narratives that we want to kind of promote, then once we do that, we understand that the content that we're looking for is within that range, and then we can say, okay, this is quality, and then we can share it.
Yeah. So how then would you then decipher between what content you can and can't use? So in terms of either copyright issues, in terms of ethical issues, and obviously Jerusalem is a bit of a divided city. You've obviously got lots of different religious beliefs. So how do you actually take into account, not even just then obviously the legal ramifications like copyright, but actually the religious and the other divides that you have within such a...
we try to, that's an interesting question, and we actually try to do very carefully. Besides legal things, like you said, legal is very easy to kind of get.
Yeah.
You got to ask the question.
Can we
share
use
it
it?
and then move on? We try not to talk about religion at all. Meaning, if someone talks about their religious experience and we think the content is quality, then we'll make sure that it fits and that the message is kind and positive. But we try not to use religion as our selling point. And it used to be that we would sell what I call the hardware of the city, meaning the buildings, the structures, the locations, the destinations, the attractions. But now we've switched to more of the software, which is the stories and the experiences through going to these places. So religion is a part of it, but there's also religion, there's culture, there's food, there's so many other aspects. So yes, someone might talk about their religious experience, but it's not only the religious experience that usually they have. They usually have some sort of other experience while they're visiting the city, and that's what we try to share.
Well, I guess that's part of almost the greatness of the city, and actually the fact that it's so diverse, the cultures, the food, the way that people interact and operate, so diverse that actually maybe that makes it better in a way, because there's always something to talk about. I guess if you had a sort of a really singular sort of culture, a type, and actually there's only, you can stretch it a bit and you can do, but actually the fact that there's always something going on, you've got different pilgrimages at different times of the year, you've got different, all of it, and the good thing is, well, because it's so many religious sites, everything I guess happens different things. So why did you make that switch from the hardware to the software?
I'll tell you why. Because every location, not only Jerusalem, but every destination has places that people will visit. So Paris has the Eiffel Tower, right? Prague has the Old Town. England has the Big Ben, right? Every city has it. The question is, how is that person going to interact with that piece of that hardware?
Yeah, that hardware doesn't actually mean anything by itself.
Right. So everyone's going to visit. So and religious pilgrimages happen in Jerusalem, but we've noticed in the last 4 years since when I started working with the city, that most people don't necessarily come for that religious experience. They're coming because Jerusalem has been slowly growing up, maturing in the way that they approach we call it the tangential, what I call tangential, at the time it was tangential, the software. In other words, they're not looking to only come to visit the holy sites. They're coming now because Jerusalem is on the map in terms of the experiences. And by doing that, you move the conversation away. So the hardware of the religious, the church, the wall, whatever it is, the mosque, all those experiences are going to happen. But those experiences will happen through the person's eyes of a food. I'm a marathon runner, so the experience of the marathon, running the Jerusalem Marathon, running the Giro d'Italia, which was started, just started. The Eurovision, what's going to happen next year in Jerusalem. All these different experiences are not necessarily tied to a religious experience, but of course people who are there already are going to go through they'll go to the religious sites. They'll have, it could be that they're going to have the religious sites on a Segway, it could be on a bike, it could be walking, it could be on the train, whatever the case may be. They're going to walk, or it could be a walking tour, a food tour through the old city, and they'll hit all the religious sites. But they're going to be eating their way through it. And that foodie who's going to be eating his way through the religious sites is going to be talking about his food experience. And of course, he'll talk about the wall, his picture of the wall, or her picture of the wall, but it's only going to be through that narrative that's going to be driven from their experience and that personal experience, which makes tourism, like you said earlier, tourism is one of those things where it's not like a regular brand sometimes gets challenged or stuck. Tourism has that opportunity where you are almost always, I say almost always have some sort of content opportunity. And you just have to create your structures and your guides. And once you have those guides, you can always play with it.
I think it's brilliant. No, thank you so much for coming on today to talk about it. Now, before I let you go, I've got to ask something that I ask at the end of people. This is not an official podcast, but I still want to ask the question. Mordecai, what buzzwords do you love or hate right now? What are the marketing buzzwords that either drive you crazy or you go, you know what, I absolutely love that term, I want to hear it over and over again. And I got a feeling I know what you're going to say.
So I have two words. We spoke about this before, but I have two words. One of them is engage. Ironically, because we're at Engage Prague, so it's one of them.
It's so ironic.
It's ironic. But I happen to think that engage is like engagement, not engage. Engagement is a buzzword that I don't necessarily am fond of, but I also think that one of the ones I am fond of is user-generated content. And I think a lot of brands don't necessarily know what it means. They know that they need to do it, but I think that's one that people can really use in a better way and maximize it. So those are my two.
No, brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Likewise.